people, stay dandy, baby. Cyborgs, Steam Toads, and Kashin motherfucking Koji. Yes, the Boruto anime series is pretty freaking awesome right now. I'm really loving it. It sucks that I didn't have an opportunity last weekend to check out the latest episode, which was really action-packed. It was Team 7 going up against the super-powered ninja cyborg Ao, and it was a really awesome and unique episode. One of the coolest battles from the series, if only for how unique and different it actually was. The latest episode, which I'm also going to be talking about today, is where we finally get to see the mysterious masked Kashin Koji revealing his abilities for the very first time, and even managing to unlock one of Boruto's for the very first time. It's a good time to be a fan of the series, because it's never been better than it is now. So, let's go ahead and dive into both of these episodes. First, the big battle with Ao. This is an interesting battle when compared to a lot of the other ones that we've actually seen from the series, and this is all owed to the fact that Ao himself is now a killer cyborg. He doesn't fight the way that he actually used to. He's not using ninjutsu. He's using all of his bodily enhancements, not to mention ninja, attack, jutsu, drones. Say that shit out loud. The dude basically summons little flying saucers that can attack with all sorts of crazy electrical abilities. And I can honestly say, I've never seen anything like it in the Naruto series. This is what made this episode so unique, is the actual way that these characters have to fight back. And of course, it's pretty typical, with most of Team 7 essentially acting as a distraction, throwing everything at Ao so that Boruto can get in close, get rid of his jutsu-absorbing gauntlet so that he can finish him off in the blaze of glory. And for the most part, there is some really great stuff going on here. All the characters get to do some pretty awesome stuff against Ao, and the battle in the forest is exactly what you would expect. And for Ao being a character who refuses to use any of his shinobi or ninjutsu styled attacks, still manages to hold his own against all of these characters. I mean, the fact of the matter is, modern day Team 7 is no one to look down upon. They're all incredibly powerful with their unique abilities, whether it's Misaki's snakes, Sarada's extreme power in the Sharingan, or just the fact that Konohamaru always manages to have some sort of trick up his sleeve. It's an awesome battle, but ultimately it's all a build-up to Boruto going up against him, being able to take out his gauntlet with a Rasengan before both of them go toe-to-toe and him unleashing his freaking amazing looking drones. These things are really fun and makes this battle wholly unique and incredibly exciting. Of course, it ends in the way that you could possibly imagine, with Boruto being able to finish him off with a very solid Rasengan, and again giving me that feeling like I had when I was watching the original Naruto series for the first time, of always waiting for that aha moment when there's going to be a trick. Of course, it's very similar to stuff we've seen in the past where there ends up being a shadow clone, but I love the way that it was actually utilized here, with Ao basically thinking that he actually caught the real Boruto, because of course when he uses these clones, he's not able to create the technology of the actual gauntlets because it's so complex. But in actuality, Boruto actually initially created a clone, put the gauntlet on him so that he could use that as a distraction to take this dude down. And it is a solid Rasengan, my friends. This dude just flies into a freaking wall, slamming and basically getting defeated. And in a bit of poetic justice, Boruto takes that screwdriver, putting it right at his neck, but still deciding not to finish him off. But of course, the episode ends in a very nice twist where suddenly Kashin Koji arrives, and that's where the next episode comes into play, and it wastes no time. He immediately uses a summoning jutsu, and he summons a toad. But unlike the other ones that we've seen from the series, just like Kara themselves, this is a summon which is enhanced with the ability of technology. Basically, he summons a giant steampunk toad, which doesn't really do much else when compared to some of the other toad summons that we've seen in the series, but again, it's destructive, it's powerful, and it absolutely crushes Ao, essentially killing him in his last moments. And again, bringing back that poetic justice element, Ao manages to utilize some ninjutsu at the last moments of his life, basically sort of showing that, in this moment, despite the fact that he is dead and he had to learn the hard way, he was able to realize who he truly was as a person and realized that his heritage is important by utilizing the power of ninjutsu, as he is, of course, being crushed by a giant freaking robot frog. But still, it's crazy. It's a great end for the character, if not a bit sad. But this is when we finally get to see Kashin Koji in action, and The dude is just crazy. I mean, he's hard to predict already because he's so mysterious with his cloak and his mask and everything. You never really know what the character is going to do, but the fact that he's already summoning like a toad shows how strong of a character he actually is. He even manages to trap everyone in this barrier of electricity, which doesn't allow them to move at all. And then frickin' Konohamaru just decides to just beast his way through this by utilizing a jutsu which like unseals this, allowing him to walk forward. And this is where things get really intense because Kashin Koji reveals that he can also utilize the power of fire as well as freaking Rasengan. That's right, Konohamaru tries to hit Kashin Koji with a Rasengan, and he basically retaliates back by doing his very own. So let's go ahead and get the elephant out of the room. We have a mysterious character with white hair who summons a toad and can use Rasengan. Does that sound like anyone you know? We'll talk about that a little bit more at the end of this review. The fact of the matter is, Kashin Koji ends up taking down Konohamaru by blasting him with these flames, which can not be undone by the wind or even a deluge of water. And basically, you listen to Konohamaru screaming his lungs out as he's being burned alive. And it is a little ridiculous. It goes on for a very long time when compared to the manga version. You think he would suffer some real damage here. But Boruto essentially gives in to his anger, and suddenly he unlocks the power of the karma within his palm. Yes, the karma, this is what Kashin Koji refers to it as, and essentially what was originally a mark now starts to have all of these weird markings go across his arm leading up to his face, and he's able to utilize this power to not only absorb all of the electricity in this barrier, but also all of the fire from Konohamaru's body, essentially saving him. And again, how he suffered no major burns during this sequence where he was screaming his freaking lungs out, you know, it's anime logic at this point, but the fact of the matter is, by Boruto actually utilizing this ability, something he's never used before, he actually gets the attention of Kashin Koji, who decides that he's actually going to retreat. For a mysterious reason, of course. You know, witnessing this power is something that he probably wants to relay to his boss, Jigen. Still, this is a great first display of what Kashin Koji is truly capable of. We'd seen hints of his power before when he killed Victor, but this is the first episode where we got to see him in action and fighting against a Jonin from the village. And it was awesome. It was really great. So Boruto basically collapses from his power. Eventually he's able to come to, and they decide that they're going to try and retreat back to Konoha Village. But on their way, they find more of these puppets that were created by Kara, which have all been just completely destroyed and ripped to shreds, when suddenly they find this crater, and in the middle of it is a young, mysterious boy. Now, if you've looked at the intro of the show, you probably already can tell that this character is going to be important. He was teased just a couple of episodes ago. All I'm going to say is, and this is just for the sake of people who only watch the anime, he's a pretty important freaking character. So pay attention. He's basically going to change the very fate of the Boruto verse, if you will. He's going to be very important, and we're going to see a lot more of that in the next episode, the coming episodes in the future. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with this guy. So, what's the rundown of both of these episodes of Boruto Naruto Next Generations? There's some really strong material in both of these episodes. I mean, the battle with Ao is what it is. It's just a really cool action episode with lots of cool, unique technological moments from Ao, Boruto utilizing all of his ninjanuity, if you will, to take him down. It's solid stuff. If I only had one complaint about the episode, it's that I kind of wish they went all out with the animation a little bit. I mean, there's some pretty clean stuff here, and a lot of the fight looks really cool, but it is kind of disappointing that, like, you know, they took, like, the filler element, like the battle with Depot, which was really awesome, and I still love that fight, and they gave that, like, a lot of attention and detail, and they didn't do it for the stuff that's actually canon to the manga. I kind of just wish they would, for every major fight, just really, you know, just play their cards. Just do it. Just make it really expensive and crazy. And then maybe that's the problem. Maybe it is too expensive. Maybe they just didn't have the opportunity to do it for that episode. But again, it was a major fight for this arc, so I was kind of hoping they would go crazier. What could have been a 10 was basically a 7.5. Still really good and very watchable, but it could have been just so much more. But again, a really solid episode with a great message and just really entertaining overall. The next episode kind of is in the same vein where it does look pretty good throughout, but it could have looked a lot better. I mean, there are moments where Kashin Koji and Konohamaru are going up against each other with their taijutsu abilities, and it could have looked more fluid, it could have been faster and had more impact, but there's still moments here that looked really cool and that were really intense. I have a feeling they're probably going to be saving that for some of the other episodes that are going to be coming up in the future, but that remains to be seen. But let's talk about Kashin Koji again for a minute. So, I'm going to try my best not to spoil anything, but the fact of the matter is, he's a mysterious character. And he has abilities which are distinctly similar to Jiraiya. And it's hard to say what he is at this moment. The series clearly wants us to think that there is some sort of connection between both of these characters, but we don't know what it is quite yet. I mean, obviously, they might be related in the sense that, they both use similar abilities, they both have white hairs, or this could be some sort of red herring. We already know that, the Kara organization has done a lot of experimentation, so there's a possibility that they could have created some sort of, like, Jiraiya monster or something. Maybe there's, like, a whole army of these guys. Or maybe Jiraiya just had a cousin or a brother that he never mentioned at all. And it's even worth mentioning that Kashin Koji has a completely different voice actor, too, so he's not Jiraiya. So what's the deal with this guy? We're just gonna have to see, and all I can say is, anime fans, look out for this guy. He's pretty freaking awesome, and there's so much more to see from him. And again, they even take the time to, show more of everything that's going on with Akara, how there's still a lot of distrust between the characters, Delta and Code, not trusting Kashin Koji or even Boro. It's this organization which is similar to the Akatsuki in many senses, but again, not a lot of strong allegiance amongst all of them, which again, immediately makes them entertaining villains, not just from the fact that they're crazy and they have a lot of cool abilities, but just the way that they interact with each other is always really damned interesting. And then there's Boruto using that damn freaking karma in this episode. Like, we've been waiting for like a big moment like this for the first time since that thing was introduced in his palm so many episodes ago. And I will say that it's going to be a very strong plot point from here on out. And what I do like about it again is that it's different from everything in Naruto. Like, it's similar in some senses to like the curse mark, or even Naruto when he loses control of his power when he was originally training with Kurama. But it's still something unique and different, and trust me when I say it is unique and different. You're going to see as the series actually goes on. But now that we're finally about to introduce that other brand new character in the series, I can't wait to see how they're going to handle it from here. If they're simply just going to continue to do a straight adaptation of the manga, or if they're going to expand on a lot of the details with him and maybe introduce some brand new story arcs which actually involve him. It certainly wouldn't be bad for a little bit of development of this character and where his actual story is going, so I just can't wait to see how all of that's going to be handled. As it stands, both of these episodes I thought were pretty damn good. I really liked both of them. So I'm going to give both 5 out of 5. Like I said, there are moments I didn't enjoy. There are moments that I think are knocking it down a little bit. But as a fan of the franchise, which yes, I am a little biased and simple just getting entertainment value, I really liked both of these episodes quite a bit. I could drop the most recent episode down to a 4. I thought the moment with Konohamaru where he was burning up and screaming for like a solid minute before Boruto did anything was a little absurd. But I'm willing to let it go. Again, it was just building the tension. Could it have been done better? Yeah. Maybe I should give that one a 4 out of 5. Yeah, you know what? I'm changing my mind. 4 out of 5 for that episode. But still, these are both really solid additions to the series, which you should definitely check out if you're a fan of the franchise. Really, though, I want to hear your thoughts about these episodes, guys. What did you think about them? The big battle with Ao, Kashin Koji's grand entrance with the Steam Toad, the Rasengan, and basically just burning all sorts of shit up, the introduction of a major brand new character. What did you guys think about these? Sound off comment section below and tell me what you hope to see from the future of the Boruto anime series. So thank you guys so much for watching this review. Please subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this one. If you did like this video, take your kunai, your shurikens, throw them at the like button. Helps out these videos a lot, ensures more people can watch my videos. I also want to take this time to thank all of my patrons. You guys are the Jonin class ninja of Ace Guru. Thank you guys so much for your monthly donations. Can't thank you enough for that. Remember, first-time donators, I'll review an anime series of your choice. I have a lot of different Patreon reviews which are going to be coming up very soon, so please stay tuned for all of that good stuff. And remember, if you also make that donation, I'd love to add your name to this list of super amazing people, the superstars of Ace Guru. So thank you guys so much for watching this review. I'll see you all next time, and as always, stay down there, baby.